What Plymouth means to me today is hope.
For me, Plymouth means compassion.
To me, Plymouth means a second chance.
For me, Plymouth is a way to give a helping hand to those who need it.
What Plymouth Housing means to me is it means that it's a chance to start over, and it's also a chance to learn to compassion and love another human being, and it puts me in a situation where I can learn on what I was and figure out what I want to be.
To me, Plymouth is a place of caring, a place where community comes together.
I'm Janet. I've been here for 23 years. I love it and wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Plymouth means a win-win.
Plymouth housing is number one. Yippee!
Plymouth means pride.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I was homeless since 1991, and here, Plymouth Housing gave me a chance. I'm now clean and sober. I now enjoy life. I was once suicidal, but here I am fighting. And if you're able to get a chance like this, take advantage of it. Plymouth Housing is great.
Hello everyone, I'm Joyce Taylor with King 5, and on behalf of Plymouth Housing, welcome to Key to Hope Week. Thank you for supporting the critical work that Plymouth is doing right now to address homelessness in our community. We're all here because we care. We care about our fellow community members and their right to a home. And now more than ever, we commit together to bringing people out of chronic homelessness and into permanent supportive housing. I'm speaking to you from Seattle, where Plymouth Housing is located, and I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral lands of the Duwamish people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people, past and present, of the Duwamish tribe. I'd also like to thank Plymouth's Board of Directors, the Key to Hope Week Committee, and all of the Plymouth champions whose dedication and energy have brought us all together today. During Key to Hope Week, you will have the chance to learn about, to understand, and to support Plymouth's vital mission. In these incredibly challenging times, I know the messages and the stories that you're going to hear will provide for you, as they do for me, a sense of hope, gratitude, and more for the work of Plymouth. You're about to hear from staff, from volunteers and residents about the history, the present, and the future of this incredible organization's mission to end homelessness. And yes, they are asking you to give as generously as you can to help Plymouth keep their residents and staff safe during this pandemic, to continue its 24/7 support services for residents, and most importantly, to help Plymouth grow at a time when the need is greatest. In fact, thanks to the support of our community, Plymouth will have 5 more buildings by 2023. For the staff and amenities needed to turn these 500 apartments into homes for people currently on the streets, Plymouth asks for and welcomes your help. As a sign of the success that Plymouth has had over the past 40 years, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has joined Key to Hope Week as the presenting sponsor. And we're thrilled to let you know that we have a challenge fund created by some very generous donors. And this means that every gift from $300 to $999 will be doubled, and every gift of $1,000 and above will be tripled. So please give generously. You are having a real and lasting impact on many people's lives. So thank you again for joining Plymouth for Key to Hope Week.
Hi, I'm Lainey Sickinger, one of the co-chairs of this year's Key to Hope Week. As Joyce just said, it's you who's going to drive the success of this event. Together as a community, we can end chronic homelessness. I believe in the leadership and the compassion of Plymouth's staff. I believe in the resilience of their residents, and I believe in you.
I moved to Seattle over 30 years ago to work on the AIDS crisis that we were having in our community. And I was in charge of housing. And I needed a place for my folks to go. And you know who took them? Plymouth Housing. I have to say, over that time, we've had our ups and downs, we've had our struggles. This is unprecedented, this time in our community, in our organization. It's unprecedented because of the fact that we're dealing with crisis around COVID and trying to support our residents and staff. but it's also the fact that we are growing. We're taking the time to build more housing and to bring more people off the streets. Plymouth Housing was started by a church downtown, Plymouth Church, and the senior minister at the time was David Caldwell, someone I got to know really well. And he found that there were people sleeping on the doorstep of the church and wanted to do something about it. And he said, one homeless person is one too many. In those early days, there was a committee involved in that with Sylvia Odom, a good friend too, and we named a building after Sylvia. Bob Marsha Omquist were involved, and we just named our most recent building after them. So many people from the church have stayed involved with Plymouth Housing, and it's been a really strong history. The reason the church spun off into Plymouth Housing from the church is that they want to do more for people besides just provide a place to live. The model of housing we have today is called Housing First. It's a 24/7 operation where as you bring in chronically homeless individuals out of homelessness, we give them all the supports they need to remain successful in housing. The housing we provide for people is very compassionate. As you bring people out of homelessness, you want to support them the best we can. But it's also very cost effective. A whole year with Plymouth is 3 days in the emergency room at Harborview, or 3 months in the county jail. Those are not answers for people who are homeless. Plymouth Housing, that's the right solution. But at Plymouth, it's much more than that. Again, we are bringing people in who are dealing with critical issues in their life, mental health issues, substance use issues. Many are homeless veterans, and they need support. And we're trying to build a community within the building. So our staff, again, 24/7, our services staff, our front desk staff, our property management staff, are there to make sure people are stable, secure, but we're making their lives better. And that's where the community comes in too. We have lots of people from the community who come in and do common meals for people, support people one-on-one. It's just an incredible operation, and it's what people need, and it's what we say as far as it's not just housing, it's a home. The early days of Plymouth Housing, and actually when I first got here, we were renovating those historic buildings in downtown Seattle, but we also wanted to do new construction. By doing new construction, we can really make the program better. We can design units, very small efficiency units for the residents. We can have places for our case managers. We can have community space for the tenants to flourish. And so we're really excited when we started doing our first new construction projects. Over the years, Plymouth Housing has gone through steady growth. Every 2 to 3 years, we've been able to do a new building. But the crisis is big. So our board, our staff, members of our community decided, let's do something more. Let's do something bigger and faster. We've been very excited at Plymouth Housing about the support from our community for our Proof Capital campaign. It's been amazing. And the goal here is to bring more people off the streets as quickly as possible. The first building of the campaign, Bob Marsha Omquist Place, opened up in April. The second building on Lower Queen is under construction, and we expect it to open up early next year. We're actually going to break ground on 2 more buildings here in the fall of 2020. So we really want to thank the community again for all they have done for us at Plymouth, with the goal of bringing more people out of homelessness permanently. At Plymouth, as we work on all these new projects, we're very conscious of the fact that equity is really important to us. People who are homeless in our community are disproportionately people of color. Among us at Plymouth, over half our residents are people of color, over half our staff are. So this is very important to us that we do this in a way that we can reach out to those folks and bring them out of homelessness as quickly as possible. When the COVID crisis hit, we've had prioritized our residents and our staff to bring on more services for them, to bring on a meal program. We have a wonderful relationship with Fair Start, we always have, but they're bringing meals to our residents. This way we keep them inside and we keep them safe. It's taking a lot of effort, and I want to give credit to our amazing staff. We already have a 24/7 operation, but putting COVID on top of that, working with our residents to be safe, bringing in additional services, they've just done an incredible job for Plymouth, and we're so proud of them. Thank you again for being with us and supporting Plymouth Housing. Donations, your support are more important than ever. As we're dealing with the COVID crisis, we're trying to support our current residents and our staff as much as we possibly can during this time. So please give generously to Plymouth. We appreciate it.
Housing is a nutritious meal. Fair Start is proud to partner with Plymouth Housing to provide emergency meals during the pandemic to ensure residents have a safe way to eat.
Housing is that personal level of comfort, of safety, health, and security, of having your own key.
Housing is a place to belong. We love how Plymouth builds community with our Reach neighbors. I'm Kelle with Reach. Thanks, Plymouth.
Housing is one thing in this world that every man, woman, and child deserves.
Cindy and I have been avid supporters and friends of Plymouth Housing for many, many years.
Plymouth's model of housing plus wraparound services is best of class and has impacted thousands of lives.
Thank you, Plymouth.
Housing is heart. At St. Francis House, we've seen how housing can transform the lives of our clients. Housing is at the heart of every family, neighborhood, and community.
Housing is hope.
The stable base of housing offers hope for change and growth for individuals and for our entire society.
Housing is a human right and saves the lives of God's unhoused children.
I'm Charles Gibson, formerly of ABC News. Back in my day, we did many stories on the well-established link between mental health problems and homelessness. More than half of those who are homeless have mental health issues, thus proving that mental health problems can often lead to homelessness. Nobody does a better job of attacking both ends of that link than the Plymouth Housing Group.
My name is Jim Elliott. I'm the nursing supervisor for Neighborcare Health. I've witnessed so many good people start their healing journey once they land in a safe place to live. Housing is healthcare. Thank you, Plymouth Housing.
Hi everyone, I'm Colin Min. I'm a senior program officer with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation is thrilled this year to serve as the presenting sponsor of Plymouth Housing's Key to Hope Week. For 40 years, Plymouth has been providing desperately needed permanent supportive housing for so many of our neighbors in need. And we know that this housing works, that it provides people with the stability that they need to rebuild their lives and leave homelessness behind forever. Today, Plymouth's work is more important than ever, and that's why we hope that you'll join us in supporting their work this week to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to live a healthy and productive life. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Matt Galvin, the other co-chair for this year's Key to Hope Week. As you've heard, housing is what makes a difference. Right now, you can make a difference by helping support those experiencing chronic homelessness. And don't forget about the Challenge Fund. Due to some generous donors, your gift can go even further this year. Go to plymouthhousing.org/hope and click the donate button to make a difference for the people that Plymouth Housing serves. We're about to learn more about them right now.
A few years ago, I had the chance to meet Emily, a remarkable woman and a resident of Plymouth.
I learned that we can unbelieve something if we were criticized at a young age, and we can write whatever spark of hope or whatever spark of happiness was in that sad memory, we can rewrite it and it's healing.
Emily is a perfect example of the residents that Plymouth is able to serve, people who embody values and concepts that all of us cherish. Resilience, strength, community, respect, home. These are our neighbors. Our residents are the heart of Plymouth's mission. They are inspiring in their perseverance, their personalities. They are kind, generous, and warm. And they have so much to contribute, and they all deserve a home.
Hi, my name is Pearl Roche. I work for Plymouth Housing. I'm a housing case manager at the Amquist. I've been with Plymouth Housing for 8 years now, and I love it.
Hi, my name is Sean Bland, and I've been living with Plymouth Housing over 10 years.
So Sean, can you tell me a little bit about how you came to Plymouth Housing?
It was a blessing, for sure it was. I mean, 'cause being out there on the streets ain't no fun. Plymouth Housing brought me in. I can't complain.
Yeah, it's a good program.
Well, I'm a pretty private person. I don't really open up to a lot of people. But they have talked with me and guided me in some directions, and it's difficult giving my secrets away or giving me away, so I just do what I do. I just got to keep moving. I'm going to share a little bit about myself. I was on the streets, and when I was out there, I didn't have a place to come to like Plymouth Housing. So when I did get off of drugs and alcohol, I said I wanted to work and give back to my community so I connect with people who I've also walked the same path that they have walked. You know, you do a good job, you know. If I need something, I can come to you and talk to you about it, you know. But like I say, I am a private person, so everything I do, I try to do for myself. But Plymouth Houses have always been there for me since I've been in the program. You know, you have to give yourself back, you know. I mean, if you want anything in this world, you have to change. It's all about change. I have a big family. I'm a family man, you know, so I never had to deal with it that way. But yet, Plymouth Housing allowed me to get on with my life, you know. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things you have to do to change. You know, it's just not, it ain't no easy walk. It's hard. It's difficult to change. Can you let me know some of the things that you have, because I haven't seen you in a long time, some of the things that you have went through that you've overcome with the help of Plymouth Housing? Well, let me put it this way. I was in the hospital for the last 10 years, dealing with all kinds of sicknesses, you know, and when I left the hospital, I had a place to go home to. With Plymouth Housing help, there's nothing I can't do, and nothing I won't be able to do, you know, if I put my mind to it, you know, and they have done a lot for me. Isn't that funny how we knew each other years ago and how that circle makes come back around, and you meet the ones going up as you meet coming down, you know, and that's the way life goes. It's been wonderful talking to you, getting to know a lot of things that we have in common. It touches my heart because I know our background, pretty much about our background and how we done fought through years of pain to get where we need to get right now, you know, and to be in a safe environment and having people around us that we didn't even know care, but our eyes are open enough to see that we can see that others care about us, and providing a home for you and giving you the opportunity to have a key. I know when I was in treatment, a key, for me to have my key to my own room, that meant a lot, just to have that key. Yeah, it means a lot to be able to open your door. Like I said, open it and shut it. Make sure you don't want to go back to the streets. You don't want them streets. There's nothing out there but trouble, you know, and I'm from the streets, you know, I'm you know, so, but I ain't going backwards. Yes. You know. So Plymouth Housing has opened doors for me more ways than one. Yeah. Yeah, it's the truth. They do open up doors, you know. All you have to do is knock on them. Walk through them. Walk through them, knock on them. You gotta go in. Yeah, you got to go in. But it was good talking with you, Pearl. Yes, it is. It is. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Most of you are probably watching from the safety and comfort of your own home, but we'd like you to take a few minutes and think about what it must be like for those who don't have a home right now.
This pandemic has made the struggles for those facing chronic homelessness so much clearer. Their need, our community's need, have never been greater.
Please take a moment today to make a gift to Key to Hope Week. You have an opportunity to make an even bigger impact thanks to the generosity of our Challenge Fund donors.
Gifts between $300 and $999 will be doubled, and for those gifts over $1,000, they will be tripled. Lainey and I are doing this because for 40 years, Plymouth Housing has been creating solutions and changing the lives of the people in our city.
Join Plymouth Housing in bringing more people into permanent homes. Together, we can do this.
You know, for nearly 30 years living and working here in Seattle, I have watched Plymouth Housing do the most remarkable work in addressing homelessness. And like so many of you, I have witnessed firsthand the powerful impact that we can make together. Stable housing transforms lives. The challenges that have led people to life on the streets cannot be addressed unless they have a home. And that's what Plymouth means by housing first. Permanent housing and on-site support services that provide a solid base to rebuild lives and leave homelessness behind forever. Throughout Key to Hope Week, we hope that you will stay connected to Plymouth and this short but critical fundraiser. Look for a series of beautiful, compelling, and inspiring stories called Mission Moments. They bring the struggles and the triumphs of Plymouth's residents and staff into clear focus. Now, we've all had to adapt to circumstances and conditions in 2020 unlike anything in our lifetimes. For those who live with chronic homelessness, they're already living impossibly difficult lives, and it has only gotten harder. And that's why we're here together, albeit virtually. Since we couldn't gather more than 1,600 people in a ballroom this year, Plymouth created this entirely new experience. Please spread the word about Key to Hope Week in any way you can. About this, there's no doubt. Everyone deserves a home. This issue touches us all. Perhaps in these challenging times, this week will help us all understand the strength and resilience of those experiencing homelessness and help to bring out the very best in us as a community. I'm Joyce Taylor. Thank you for joining us, and stay safe, everyone.